Hello and welcome to this demo video. Before we get started, I'd just like to explain to you a few things which will relate to all of the basic range spreadsheets. Number one, there is a key on the intro and setup tab of all of the spreadsheets showing what the different color headers mean. The blue headers mean that the cell's formulated, so it's locked and you can't change it. The yellow headers are where you can input data, and occasionally there might be some gray headers, which is just a different kind of data input, but we'll include instructions as and when that happens. The other thing that you can be aware of is there are ways in which you can damage the spreadsheet. So please do take a look at the link where you see this image, which will take you to a web page to show you how to better preserve your spreadsheet. Please feel free to keep a blank version of the spreadsheet somewhere, so that if you do mess up a spreadsheet that you're using, you can in fact just open a new one, a blank one. And some of the spreadsheets only last for a year, and then you've got a blank one to start the following year. So do keep a blank copy as a backup somewhere. And lastly, wherever you see this image, you can click on it. It'll take you back to the store where you purchased this product to see if you've got anything, any more products. One last thing, to see a demo video, you can click on this on a link that looks like this in order to go to the demo video, but that'll take you to the most recent demo. If in fact we've done upgrades and you're using an older version and you'd like to see the demo relating to your version, then do click on the watch on YouTube link, which will take you to that specific video on YouTube. So I think that's all you need to know. So without further ado, let's move on to this demo video. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to this demo video for the International Sales Ledger. Now, from time to time I get requests for these the basic range spreadsheets specifically, and this is one of those requests. So what's been asked for is a very simple sales ledger just to manage what money is coming in, just so you can see whether you're hitting targets each month and things like that. This is probably more for freelancers. It's not necessary. It doesn't keep track of expenses and all that. It's literally just sales ledger, what sales are coming in. But the difference with this one is that it's across multiple currencies. Some people will be working in a specific country. Maybe if you're in Britain, for example, you might be charging in euros, you might be charging in dollars, you might be charging in US dollars or Canadian dollars or South African rands, Australian dollars, whatever. I'm going to show you how the spreadsheet works. It's very, very, very simple. Start off on the intro and settings tab and select the month and the year to start this particular spreadsheet. So what you do is keep this for a year, use it for a year. At the end of the year, start a new one and put in the starting month for the following year, the starting month and year for the following year, and you can have another spreadsheet for another year. So keep a blank copy for each one. Just simply put in the date, starting month, starting year, and then the default currency. Now the default currency, you can type in any letters. I haven't limited it to actual currencies because I didn't want to have to have an extensive list and then have you select from them and all the rest of it, because it doesn't actually matter what the currency is because you're going to be putting in the exchange rates anyway. So what you can do is just put your local currency as 3 letters, that kind, as you would Great British Pounds, for example, or ZAR for South African Rand, or USD for US dollars, that kind of thing. It will check there to check that you have in fact put something in, and it does look like 3 letters. This down here is only really for bank holidays. If you want to change a bank holiday, the reason being for that, there's no real reason actually. You're just going to put the dates in. It's just checking which dates are in which months. You don't even need to put that in. But if there were bank holiday changes, you can have a look down there and see what you need to do. This is only in the event where the Queen actually changes a bank holiday when it should be on a specific date and has moved to another date. But as I said, it really has little effect on this particular spreadsheet. So I've just put it in there just in case you want to be able to do that, but that's up to you. I would just leave that blank, to be honest. Sales ledger. Let's start with the sales ledger. This is where it all happens. Invoice date, invoice number, client, description, date paid, currency, value, and the rate. It's as simple as that. So you don't even need to enter the rate necessarily. What you do is put the date of the invoice date, your invoice number, the client's name, description, and then the date when the invoice is paid, and then the currency. You can just type the currency in here. If it is the default currency, if you're using the default currency, leave it blank. So as I said, if you leave it blank, it puts it straight as British pounds, pound sterling there. So if you leave it blank, if you put in a currency, whatever code you put in, what it does is it looks to see if you've used that currency before. So for argument's sake, here where I put in the ZAR, I didn't put in a rate. It knew the rate because it knew the rate from up here. So the rate that you put in here is how many of that particular currency can you get for 1 British pound. That's the way it works. So for argument's sake, here it's 20 Rand to the pound. So what we've done is I just put in a rate of 20. So you can put in a rate of whatever the rate is. And next time you put in the ZAR, it goes, yeah, okay, I know this rate. I've seen this before. I know what that is. And it doesn't ask, it just says, yes, I know what that rate is. If you put in a new currency, I don't know, whatever, if you put in now Canadian dollars and it doesn't know Canadian dollars, it'll go yellow to say, I don't know what that currency, that rate is. Please put it in. Once you put it in, the next time it will say, no, I know what that is. Now, if you invoice, say, for South African rands in January, and then you get to, say, March, and you invoice for South African rands again, and the exchange rate has changed, not a problem. Just simply put the new rate in. And then what it'll do next time is it'll find the last rate you put in and go, yes, okay, I know what it is. So you don't have to leave it blank if you think so it knows what the rate is. If this rate here is incorrect, simply put the correct rate in and it'll adjust accordingly. This then works out how much you've actually earned in your local currency. And it's as simple as that. Just simply list the invoices. I haven't put a sort on here. The reason being is if you sort it by anything other than the invoice dates, it messes up the looking for the last rate formula. So I haven't put in the sorts on there. Otherwise, it's doing too many calculations. So just list them as they were. If you do forget to list an invoice, say you've forgotten to list one in here, all you do is you simply come here, highlight that, edit, copy, go down one, right click, paste values, and then when you paste values in there, then you can clear the row above that is now duplicate and insert what you want to insert. So if you use copy and paste values, you can do that without having to do the sort function. But in theory, I mean, you should invoice these, you should put these in as you're invoicing them, so you shouldn't really forget any. That's it. You can do that as you go along. The last page, which is the annual report, will automatically update. It'll show you how much to invoice versus how much you've been paid each calendar month. It'll also show you the totals between what invoice and paid, so you can see what's outstanding. And it'll also show you the values invoiced per month and the values paid per month, so you can see those are both in British pounds and in foreign currencies. And here you can just see the breakdown of all the different currencies that have been paid and what percentage is what percentage is coming in from each different currency. So those are just a few graphs that you can see on the report. This is all, as I said, automatically updated based on what you put in here. So really, once you've set that up with the starting month and year and your default currency, it really is just putting in one simple line per invoice, and it'll track everything else for you. So I hope that that's useful to you. If you are getting payments in international currencies, and this is useful to you, I wish you all the best of your business. And yeah, thank you very much. Goodbye.